Who will be the new Straw Hats after Wano? There's been a number of speculations regarding this question, and we have some characters whose names have been coming up a lot as potential new Straw Hats. So today I'll be analyzing each of these characters on their possibilities of joining the crew, and at the end of the discussion I'll be giving my verdict on who I think will join the Straw Hats after Wano. But before moving on, I publish new One Piece series every week, so make sure that you don't miss any future One Piece videos by subscribing to the channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. Now, as I've said that I'll be discussing a number of characters, so let's just randomly start with Yamato. From the start, Yamato has been referring to herself as Kozuki Oden. Now, most of us are expecting a guy when we heard that Yamato is Kaido's son, but then we get a girl running around in a mask calling herself Kozuki Oden. Obviously, as she calls herself Oden, she embodies the will and desires of Oden. And more than anything, Oden wanted a life full of adventures. The same thing we are seeing here with Yamato, who also desires a journey on the seas and already asked Luffy to board his ship. So the dream she has now is to set out to the seas alongside with another dream of opening Wano's borders that will most probably be fulfilled in this arc. Now we know that every Straw Hats has a particular dream that they want to realize in their journey, and having that kind of a dream is sort of an important criteria that must be fulfilled for a character to be considered as a potential new Straw Hat. Now compared to the other Straw Hats, Yamato's dream doesn't seem to have a particular end goal, not that it isn't a meaningful enough dream to have a journey or adventure like Oden had, but down the line we might get something more particular from her. And Yamato seems to have a good compatibility with Luffy. Luffy acknowledges her strength and also trusts her, as he asked Yamato to protect Momonuske. And as the war goes on, Yamato might build relationships with other Straw Hats, and her personality is quite different from Nami and Robin, so she will bring more versatility in the crew. And obviously Sanji will be the first one on board with the idea of Yamato joining the crew. Now there's a parallel between Nami, Robin and Yamato, that all of them started as villains. So Oda might be following that pattern here, where they ultimately ended up as a Straw Hat. And besides joining the Straw Hats, I can't think of any other possible route that Yamato might take after Wano. Obviously it would be a waste if we don't see anything from Yamato after this war, and I don't think Oda introduced such a dynamic character just to use in this war without any future plans for her. Now there's an idea that Yamato will take on the role of Shogun, but that seems like a far-stretched theory to me. First of all, her dream is to have a journey on the seas, and she has been shackled by Kaido almost her entire life, so after all this, rather than heading towards a life full of responsibilities, it would be more fitting for her character to direct towards freedom. And obviously it seems less likely for Wano citizens to accept Yamato as a shogun. With Kurozumi Orochi gone, they will be looking forward to someone from the rightful bloodline of Kozukis to take on that role. So most probably it's either gonna be Momonosuke or Hiyori playing the role of shogun. That's why I think if Oda has plans for Yamato after Wano, it's highly likely that she will end up as a Straw Hat. Now as we know that every Straw Hat has a role in the crew, so what might be Yamato's role? The most popular choice here is a lockkeeper, and I'm completely on board with this idea. Although there isn't much time left in Luffy's journey, this is the most crucial time, and I think someone needs to keep a log of that final part of the journey, how Luffy becomes a pirate king. And Yamato easily fits that role, and it's a good parallel to how Oden joined Roger at the final part of his journey of becoming the pirate king. So with all this, I would say Yamato has a very good chance of joining the Straw Hats at the end of Wano. Now let's move on to the next character in our discussion, Carrot. Carrot has been tagging along with the crew since Zou. She had some focus in Whole Cake Island, with Pedro's death being a Sulong and destroying Daifuku's fleet, and sometimes to me it feels like she's already a part of the crew. But putting that aside, let's look at her chances of joining the Straw Hats. First of all, what's Carrot's dream, as it's an important criteria to meet for a potential new Straw Hat. Now Carrot didn't have a particular dream when she started joining with the Straw Hats. All she wanted before was to have an adventure with Luffy and the others that she managed to achieve by sneaking on the Thousand Sunny. But after that, we didn't see her pointing towards any end goal of her journey. So at this point, what is actually her dream? Does she even have one? Well, I think she does, and it might be related to Ming tribe's long cherished desire and Pedro's sacrifice for the Straw Hats. Nekomamushi mentioned that Mings have been waiting for a long time to see the dawn of the world, and Pedro sacrificed himself believing that Luffy and his crew will be the one to bring that dawn of the world, and also those were his last words to Carrot. Now as a mentor, Pedro was a close person to Carrot, and seeing him sacrificing his life for the Straw Hats might have gravitated her towards the belief or desire to continue journeying with the Straw Hats till the end and helping them bring the dawn of the world. It also aligns with the tribe's desire, and I think it would be fitting to the story if we have someone from the Ming tribe to witness and be a part of how Straw Hats bring a change to the world. So at the end of Wano, I can definitely picture Carrot stating her claim that she wants to continue journeying with the Straw Hats and help them till the end. Now Carrot is already compatible with the crew, she has a cheerful disposition like Usopp and Chopper, so she will easily fit in the crew, no question about it, and in terms of strength, she is more than qualified enough. Now what might be Carrot's role in the crew? The popular choice here is a lookout, and I say it's a fitting role for her as rabbits have a long field of vision, so she can detect a danger more quickly than the others. Now everything seems to fall in place with her joining the crew, so there's no disagreement in my part with Carrot joining the Straw Hats. Now the next two characters we'll be discussing has been recently brought up as potential new Straw Hats, X-Drake and Vice Admiral Smoker, and I strongly disagree with the idea of any of them joining the Straw Hats. Now starting with Smoker, the idea of him joining the Straw Hats generally comes from the fact that at some point he is going to realize that the world government is the one doing injustice to people and pirates like Luffy are the ones that are truly bringing the justice. Now it's highly likely that at some point he's going to find out the truth about the world government, but that isn't a reason enough for him to join the Straw Hats and be a crew member. First of all, he's a person who highly values justice, and over the time he has come to realize that justice can be brought not only by the Marines but also by the pirates. But we have to keep in mind that pirates generally don't share the motto of justice. Yes, the Straw Hats are exceptional among the pirates, but even then none of them have a particular goal of bringing justice to the world. Saving nations, defeating villains, bringing happiness to people, all of this happens alongside the journey to pursue their primary goal. It's not like that Straw Hats carry a log post that indicates towards a place of injustice and they need to go there and solve it. They don't necessarily do bad things, but their sole purpose isn't to bring good either. Their main goal is to realize their dream as they go through an adventure. So to me, for someone like Smoker whose sole intention is to pursue justice, joining the Straw Hats isn't a suitable way to achieve that. Yes, definitely at some point in the future I can picture him allying with Luffy to take down the system or the world government, but that's all. And at the end, we are still going to need an organization like Marines. It's not like that after defeating the world government, there won't be any injustice in the world. And Smoker, I think, will be one of those who reforms the Marines at the end. Now for X-Drake, after being exposed in Beast Pirates, he joined Luffy's side, and that has driven many readers to speculate that he might be a new Straw Hat. But taking only this as a basis of considering him a new Straw Hat doesn't seem like a good idea to me. And in an SBS, Oda said that Drake's father is D.S. Barrels, whom we got to know in Lost Flashback, and Barrels was a marine who turned into a pirate for some unknown reason, and after becoming a pirate, he used to physically abuse Drake. But Drake still looked past all of that and followed him around in his pirate crew. But Oda said that his dream was to become a great marine, so I don't see why someone with a dream of becoming a great marine will possibly join the Straw Hats. Now there's an idea that he might join the Straw Hats as a marine spy, but that seems like a far-stretched theory to me. So at this point, I'm not considering him as a potential new Straw Hat. Now the next character in our discussion is Momonuske. Momonuske has been with the Straw Hat since Punk Hazard, and the one main reason that stands in the way of him becoming a Straw Hat is the fact that he's next in line to become the Shogun of Wano, and that is his dream at this point. But that doesn't mean that he has no chance of joining the Straw Hats. There's a possibility that he won't take on the role of Shogun at the end of Wano and might ask Hiyori to temporarily be the Shogun because of the realization that he still needs to learn a lot before taking that responsibility. And a good way to do that is to continue journeying with the Straw Hats, with his goal shifting to grow into a more capable person to be a worthy Shogun. And another reason is that I think Momonuske might need to be present in Laugh Tale to learn the history between the Ancient Kingdom and Kozuki clan by himself. Now the problem is, if we look at the parallel between Momonuske and Vivi, circumstances led to both of them journeying with the Straw Hats. Both of them were revealed to be the upcoming representative of their country, and after the Straw Hats saving the day at the end, Momo might also stay behind for his country like Vivi. But we cannot completely disregard his chances of joining the crew based on this, so at this point, I would say there's still a possibility of him joining the crew. Now moving on to the last character in our discussion, Vivi. Vivi is already considered a former Straw Hat, so we don't need to go through the process of judging her chances of joining the crew. All she needs to do is to reunite with the Straw Hats in Wano. Now how is that going to happen? We already know that there was some turbulence in Reverie involving the Nefertari family. My guess is that either Cobra died or there was an assassination attempt on Vivi. Whatever happened, the point here is that Vivi might have somehow caught on to the fact that the world government is behind all this, so the only place safe for her to go is to the Straw Hats. But how is she going to make her way to Wano? Well, Donsai and Leo was already acquainted with Vivi in Reverie, and there's a high possibility that the Straw Hat Grand Fleet will join Luffy in this war, so it's possible that Vivi will come to Wano with the Grand Fleet. Now at this point it might seem like a long shot, but there could be other ways for her to end up in Wano. So now it's finally time to give my verdict on who I think will join the Straw Hats. Now at this point we don't have a final count on how many Straw Hats will be there by the end. Although at the beginning Luffy said that at least 10 people would be enough, there's nothing confirming that there will be exactly 10 Straw Hats including or excluding Luffy. And Oda already counts Vivi as 13 Straw Hat, while the 11th and 12th position is probably reserved by Thousand Sunny and Going Merry, or this could be a subtle manner of saying that there will be 2 more new Straw Hats. Who knows, but if I had to pick 2 people, I would say Yamato and Carrot have the best chances of joining the crew. And if we assume that there will be 3 people joining the crew at the end of Wano, then for the 3rd position, I would lean towards Vivi at this point, not Momonuske. Now give your opinion on who will join the Straw Hats, comment your thoughts on the discussion. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and ring the bell to get notified. Like the video if you enjoyed it, follow me on Instagram at TallOP11. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.